Welcome to the Wheel Shop, and today's episode we're calling Mission Impossible. Now, I've built a number of wheels with rims with no nipple access holes, so that's nothing new. I've built loads of wheels with internal hidden nipples, so that's nothing new. But what is new is those two features combined in one rim. That is something that I have not encountered previously, and would normally be considered impossible, because to access a hidden nipple or an internal nipple, you must have an access hole through the rim. This wheel, okay, so what we have here is this is a Campanolo, and it is a Bora Ultra 33, and it's I think it's Campy's high-end wheel. I don't think they have one a higher end one than this. Carbon fiber rim, of course. These things retail at something like $4,000 Canadian per set, so they're one of the more high-end wheels that you can buy. It's a 2-to-1 design, which means 2 drive side spokes for every non-drive side spoke. I'm not going to talk a lot about that here, other than to say that that is a sound design, and it has a basis in good engineering, and I'll talk more about that at some other time. We'll discuss 2-to-1 lacing and its benefits. But anyhow, all right, so this wheel came to me for a rim replacement, because even $4,000 wheels are susceptible to pothole damage. And that's what happened here. The rider had a pretty nasty crash and destroyed the rim. So we've got a new rim to replace this one. So anyway, getting back to the internal nipple. So obviously this requires some special tooling in order to access those nipples. And this is something those Italian geniuses at Campanolo came up with quite a system for that. So the nipples actually insert into the rim and sort of snap into place, so that they're fixed in place there. Well, not fixed in place, but they're held in place by a lip. Once we have the spokes moved over to the new rim, because this rim is destroyed anyway, we're going to dissect this rim, and we're going to show how that works. But anyway, so anyhow, what we need is a special tool. So the nipples actually are a Torx fitting. Get that to focus. All right, so this is your nipple wrench. All right, so that, in order to, all right, so that fits down into the nipple like that. I'm trying to do this with not enough hands here. Okay, so that Torx bit engages the spoke, and then with an 8mm open end wrench, which I will get off the tool rack here. Okay, so 8mm. All right, then the 8mm open end wrench fits on that tool, and that's how you turn the nipple. So anyway, the next step is to move these spokes over to the new rim, and once they're installed, then it'll be just a simple matter of doing the normal tensioning and truing. That should be fairly straightforward. And then once that's done, at my leisure, I will dissect this rim, and we'll show how those nipples work. Pretty fascinating stuff. Alright, so from here it's just a regular rim swap. So the tools that we have, of course, the Torx nipple bit, and then there's a this is a spoke holder, and I'll show you how that works. Hopefully the lighting will allow you to see this. I put the Torx bit into the nipple, and then we hold the spoke with the spoke holder, and then that little nub goes right into the bit, and then we just unscrew the nipple with our 8mm wrench until we get it loose enough that we can do it with the fingers. Okay, so I'm on the last spoke now on the rim transfer, and one thing that I have learned kind of the hard way is that you have to be very careful not to push the nipple out of its little pocket there, because it doesn't take very much pressure, and it unlocks it and pops it into the rim. I've kind of lost count now. I've got I don't know, 4 or 5 nipples to shake out of the rim now. So the last one, very carefully, because the nipple wants to, or the spoke wants to straighten out and put quite a bit of pressure against the nipple, and so we'll get the bit in there. I probably got my hand in the way. You probably can't see it now, but anyway. So so we've got all the spokes started on the nipples in the rim, and so yeah, next step is to put it in the truing stand and bring them up to tension. Okay, so you take your Torx bit with the slot in it, and that goes over the spoke like so, and down into, engages with the nipple, and then you take your bladed spoke holder and put it around the spoke, and then that little nub at the end goes down into the bit. I need to try and keep my big fat arm and fingers out of the way there so you can see. Don't think I'm doing that very well. Anyway, okay, so hopefully you can see that now. So holding the spoke in place, take your 8mm wrench on the spoke nipple key and make your adjustment. It's a great deal more fiddly than your normal standard wheel truing process, so a lot more time consuming, so you just need to charge accordingly. That's kind of the way it works. Alright, so I'm getting the wheel up to its final true tension here. I do not know what the tension specs are on this rim. I've put an inquiry into Campanolo, to their tech department, to see if they can tell me what the specs are. Meantime, still waiting for an answer. But I have some extra spokes for the wheel, so I've put one in my tension meter calibration fixture. So I'm going to take some tension readings here and just see what reading I should be looking for. If we look at the tension comparison now with a conventionally laced wheel, so if this was a 24 spoke wheel with 12 on each side, we would probably be ending up with something like maybe 40% of the tension on the non-drive side that we have on the drive side. As it is, we're getting not quite 100%, so we're getting at least 80% of the tension on the non-drive side that we get on the drive side, because it's half as many spokes. So that's the rationale for 2-to-1 lacing, and it is, as I said, it's a sound principle and it makes for a good wheel. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to take the tension any higher until I find out what the tension specs are on this wheel. So anyway, hopefully we'll find that out soon. Alright, so earlier on I said that I was going to cut into the rim and show you how these nipples snap into place. So we're going to just take a hacksaw and cut through it just on the edge of one of those nipple holes. Alright, so here we can see the cross section of the nipple hole, and if you look very closely you can see there's a little groove there. Alright, so the nipple fits in from the inside and then snaps into place. Yeah, like I said, it snaps into place. There we go. Okay. Alright, so that's that little groove there is what holds the nipple in place. It's some kind of a, it's not metal, I don't know if it's hard or plastic, or can't be sure just what kind of material that is there. Wasn't a problem to cut through it with a hacksaw, but yeah, so that's the way the nipples are secured. Now, fortunately, the replacement rims do come with the nipples pre-installed, so that kind of gives you a bit of a head start. Anyway, I hope you found this informative, and yeah, we'll catch you next time something weird, wild, and wonderful comes through the shop. Bye for now.